Sporting have announced that Manchester United have expressed their intention to pay Ruben Amorim's PS10M release clause, edging him ever closer to becoming the new manager here at Old Trafford. What does that mean in a tactical sense? I've got Carl Anker from The Athletic here to talk through it. Ruben Amorim has been the frontrunner to succeed Erik Ten Hag, a very different manager in terms of his approach. He likes to play three at the back and it's very possession-heavy. What does that mean if we translate it to this current United team? It means there's going to be a lot of changes. I think if you're a Manchester United fan, a Stratford ender who's used to chanting attack, 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 and used to having dazzling wingers going down the wings, the move to a 3-4-3 or a 3-4-2-1 with wingbacks might take a little bit of time to get used to. There isn't necessarily an abundance of profiles or players to make Ruben Amorim's system a one-to-one fit in the same way that, say, Arne Slot's adjustment to life at Liverpool was quite seamless, or perhaps in the way that Enzo Maresca's adjustment to time at Chelsea has been relatively smooth because there's been such an abundance of players that can easily understand those things. What we do know is that, as you said, Amorim's style of play does involve very much retaining possession, very often pressing quite high up the field. The attack is quite multifaceted. It's not based on one regular form of attack. It can often rely on different players, one quite speedy attacker going forward or one interior player, someone like Hamad Diallo, who might be quite useful to Ruben Amorim going forward as well. What will be interesting is what he makes with that central midfield pivot. So when you look at the previous Sporting teams, the two men in midfield tend to be based on their out-of-possession qualities. They tend to be very, very athletic, being able to cover large areas of space, tend to be able to make loads of tackles. In fact, one of those people was Manuel Ugarte, who just popped up at Manchester United over the summer as well. So I think that might be quite useful for Amorim when he arrives. I think we're not quite at the stage where there's white smoke, but it's looking quite imminent now, isn't it? Yeah, so not an easy and seamless transition. But what would excite United fans by what could potentially be the look of Amorim's team? I think one thing that should excite Manchester United fans is this is a manager who has a very clear set way of playing. And I think what's going to be really interesting is that this manager has quite a clear set way of playing, and hopefully for them isn't going to be a manager who's going to compromise quite easily. And yes, it might take some time for certain players to get used to this 3-4-2-1 system. But if we look at some of the changes above and around Amorim, both in terms of recruitment, so the likes of Dan Ashworth and Jason Wilcox, that might bring effect. If Dan Ashworth has been given a very clear goal, you need to bring in players that can fit a very clear 3-4-3. That should hopefully bring some clarity to years of dysfunctional recruitment. We hope so. Manchester United fans certainly hope so. Amorim will hope so soon because it is looking very likely that he'll be in the dugout here at Old Trafford very soon.